We begin the record with breaking developments in the race for president. This is one for the record books. With 107 days until the general election, President Joe Biden announces he will not seek re-election. In this open letter, Biden writes, "It has been the honor of my life, the greatest honor," he says, "to serve as your president. While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Welcome to the record. I'm Mark Maxwell. Democrats walk into their convention 29 days from now without a nominee for president. Republicans just locked theirs in. President Biden is officially endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris, but she will have to win enough delegates to secure that nomination. It is now officially an open nominating contest. We caught up with delegates and elected officials at the Republican National Convention before they knew this would become the outcome, but many were already predicting it, some taking joy in all the uncertainty surrounding Biden's candidacy and prodding their political rivals to toss Joe Biden and see what comes next.
We're about uniting. Democrats are about dividing. We know who our nominee is. We're not in question. Here in a couple weeks, I'm not sure they know who theirs is going to be. We know who our nominee is. We now know who our vice president is. And we're united.
Trust me, as a Republican, I would just sit back and eat popcorn if they opened that convention up. That would be phenomenal entertainment, and I would encourage them to do so. Go ahead, Democrats. Open up your process. Let those delegates become unbound. Let the media go ask them who they're going to vote for. Give them their 15 minutes in the sunshine, and I doubt this process is going to be an early one that gets fixed.
That was former Republican Congressman Rodney Davis and current Republican Congressman Mike Bost, both from Illinois. Joining me now to talk about this historic moment in presidential politics is Russ Carnahan, chair of the Democratic Party, Kevin O'Malley, President Obama's former ambassador to Ireland and close friend of Mr. Biden, and expert political scientist and professor at UMSL, Anita Mannion, our political analyst here at 5 on Your Side. Mr. O'Malley, you've been a close friend of President Biden. You've been on him with recent trips, and you defended his stamina at the time. You saw his debate performance last month. Did you see a decline there, and how hard was this decision for Mr. Biden?
So I think this is a very difficult decision for the president. I think that he took into consideration the advice he had from his advisors, but mostly he is a decent, caring, experienced patriot who put the country ahead of his own personal desires. He accomplished more in his first term than many presidents will accomplish in multiple terms, and he wanted to do more, but he understood that the obstacles were mounting, and so I think he'll go down as a hero.
And not since spring of 1968 have we seen a president, an incumbent president, do this in Lyndon Johnson there. Mr. Carnahan, I want to ask you, will the Democratic Party of Missouri formally endorse the vice president and her nomination, or will you instruct delegates to listen and nominate and vote for whomever they choose?
I think our delegation will follow the process as set out by our national party. These delegates, again, have been part of the successful Obama-Biden-Harris coalition. Millions of people voted for the Biden-Harris ticket 4 years ago. 14 million voted nationally in the primaries for this ticket. And I think we're going to see this really coalesce behind Vice President Harris in this process. But I think there's going to be a conversation, and Democrats, I think, have been and should be strategic about this, but certainly the leadership of President Biden, we've got to acknowledge that because he's the one that has really set this process in motion.
And had he waited until after the nominating convention, then Vice President Harris would have been really locked in, but now it becomes this truly open convention. Anita, just how hard is it for Vice President Harris or for any other of these Democratic ambitious politicians? How hard would it be for them to actually run a nationwide campaign in about 107 days?
It would be something we've never seen before. Harris has the easiest path because she has been part of the Biden campaign. She was on the primary ballot. She is now, they're transitioning the funds to her. She's on the funds. And she has the infrastructure of running a national campaign and can easily take over a lot of the infrastructure that Biden had in.
Mr. Carnahan, I'm sure your phone is blowing up in this immediate run-up, in the aftermath of all this news. Which other Democratic candidates on the bench come to mind as capable potential nominees?
Well, that's a great and fun conversation. You're talking about vice presidential picks, I presume.
You're leaning towards Kamala Harris for the nominee.
I think that's the direction this is going to go. And I think there's some fantastic Democratic governors that are on a great bench in this country. They have great records of success that could step up and fill those positions.
Such as?
I mean, I think a short list, certainly Governor Shapiro in Pennsylvania, key swing state. I'm particularly like Kentucky Governor Beshears, who's our neighbor and has been successful winning in a state Trump carried by 30 points. And there's others, Gretchen Whitmer, again, a number of successful governors that could really add to a national ticket.
We're talking a lot of politics, but there's also policy here. And I want to ask you, Mr. O'Malley, some Republicans like Senator Josh Hawley are saying that if President Biden cannot mount a successful campaign for president, that he's not fit for the duties of the job. I get there's politics there, and the political instinct for Democrats would be to defend your guy in a moment like this. But I wonder what
well,
you think.
I wouldn't have to defend him. I think his record would defend him. He accomplished more in the understanding that the House of Representatives, which the Republicans took how many votes to come up with a leader. So these guys criticizing the process that we're going to go through is a little bit strange and kind of rich.
My question, though, is what foreign leaders might be thinking about our country in this fraught moment? Do you have any concerns that bad actors might use this period to sow instability?
No, I think that most foreign leaders that I dealt with as an ambassador understand that we are the beacon of democracy, that we'll do this in a way that we will be proud of, and will eliminate they're scared to death of President Trump coming back. They just are. And because for a number of reasons, but mostly he's so unpredictable and so rash.
Well, many thanks to our panel for joining us in such short notice. When we come back, we take you to Milwaukee for a